On net.
To the league lead with 2 shutouts. He's played 72 NHL games, a proven kind of guy. He's had a terrific pro career, looking to get himself back in the National Hockey League, and he's the goaltender for the Houston Aeros.
Face off in the Denver Grizzlies zone to the left of their net by number 68 in white for the Denver Grizzlies. An interesting story with a helmet. Zygmunt Palffy had a heck of a preseason with the New York Islanders. Here comes Nicholas Anderson. He scores! Nicholas Anderson puts the hometown Grizzlies on top, 1-0.
Offensively, a smart play by Anderson, hanging around the blue line, just waiting to get the feed, waiting to get a pass right on the tape. You see right in the neutral zone. A perfect pass by Miller right on the tape, and Anderson lets her fly, decides to go against the grain, fires that low to the glove side, and from a goaltender's angle, you see Gamble, he's out far enough, tries to kick out with the left leg, just misses it, and that one, in fact, just got inside the post. There's sandbags surrounding it, so you couldn't hear a clunk or anything. It just ended up in a perfect position. Great shot by Anderson. The Arrows dumped the puck in on a good dump by Murray Eves, but right at the blue line on the left of your screen, Pellerin dumped one of the players of the Grizzlies, and you're going to rest the game.
Power play unit for Denver, Anderson along with Medill, and also out there Kip Miller, as Anderson nearly had his second goal of the night as it controls. 5 seconds left in the power play for Denver. McWilliam behind the net. And Townsend is out of the box. The sides are even, but Palffy cruises in and loses control in the slot. He had a great scoring chance. Here's Tiki, and just getting a stick on it was Gamble. Milan Tiki's shot didn't have much. Townsend, I don't know. Yes, it is. Graham Townsend for Houston.
Well, 2 pretty big guys. Townsend, 6'2", 215 pounds. Nothing much really going on here. Neither guy able to get an arm loose. A couple of tough customers. McWilliams as well.
Townsend's an interesting fellow. Born in Jamaica, Darren. And he's been a tough guy throughout his professional career, and he shows why there. 1-0 Denver. Back to McNichols.
And Palffy just had a pretty good chance at the end of a power play for the Denver Grizzlies, and the puck was loose. Troy Gamble had to make a good save, sprawling out to his right, getting his stick on it, but then here's what happens. McWilliams and Townsend, they both collide. Couple of big guys. They're both over 6'3". They're both over 215. Tippett with the initial hit originally. Now that was a pretty solid hit right there. Let's listen to this and take a sound. It's a good hit on the far side. Now the penalty happened just prior to that, so the elbowing, that'll wash out the
shot. Score! Mario Chitteroni. Chitteroni got a lot of room, takes the shot, score! And Mario Chitteroni with an even strength goal ties this game at 1.
Veteran defenseman Norm Rochford going backwards across the blue line, lost his footing, and enabled Chitteroni to blast by him on the far side and fire it low to the glove side. And Salo came out far enough, but again, just like the first goal of the game, low to the glove side. Take a look at number 22 on your screen. Rochford going backwards, lost his footing, bang. That gives Chitteroni the room to go on the far side, and he just let her fire right off the post. In a good shot. And you see Salo out far enough, cutting down the angle. He leans a little bit to his right, just enough, and bang, right underneath there, right off the post, off the inside. Good shot by Chitteroni. He's got his first goal.
Couldn't control it. Doug Crossman does and carries in. Denver's on a power play for the next 30 seconds. And the Arrows will just try and lug it out and get some of that time off the penalty clock. They don't lug it out. They skate it in and take a shot. It is wide by Mark. Tied at 1. Here's a shot by Pellerin off the right pad of Tommy Salo.
Good save by Salo, getting his right pad on it. On a good hard shot right in the middle of the...
Oh! Zygmunt Palffy with a blast, hits the post, rebound. Comes back to Crossman. Crossman in the slot to Palffy. On the backhand, he's put down. Zygmunt Palffy's had a couple of good chances. That brought the crowd up. Ryan Pellerin, another shot in on Salo. They love him there.
If we were teammates, that'd be real cool. Yopang.
Oh, he's in mid-season form, ladies and gentlemen. Milan Tiki.
Yet, but Tommy Salo comes up with a pretty good save, and at the other end, so did that guy, Troy Gamble. The first one, Scott Pellerin off the right side, trying to go against the grain again, and you see the positioning of your goaltender, Tommy Salo, getting the right pad, sort of a half butterfly formation, and no danger there with the rebound. So Salo comes up with a pretty strong save, and anytime you give up a goal on a shot, a longer shot, it's important to make a save, and Zygmunt Palffy made a terrific shot. That one went on the near side, right straight off the post. That's as square as you can get it off that post, and we will have a segment later on called Panger Off the Post.
That's true. And a segment even later called Pang's Mailbox.
Trying to let her rip right here. Doesn't get through all the way, blocked partially by a stick, and then it does get through, and it's a good save by Gamble with the left side of his body. Marinucci, as we said, scored a brilliant goal last night, the game-winning goal against Minnesota, faking a shot, and we will be talking to him just moments from now downstairs.
Name. And Tippett, number 14, never hurt his coach. He was out of position.
And if it goes kind of ting and hollow, it means it went off the post and in. But if it's a nice solid one, usually that means it went off the post and stayed out. So for a goaltender, that is good news. My Pang Off the Post for this week is going to begin with the shootout, which originated right here in the International Hockey League. The shootout, after a game is tied, there is no overtime. You go right to penalty shot situations. A player has the puck at the center ice line, referee blows the whistle, and it's one-on-one hockey. Takes a little bit away from the team game, but it makes for some excitement for the fans. This example here, the Peoria Rivermen winning because of a goal. Now this situation, one-on-one again, the most dramatic play in hockey, a save by a goaltender. That can really pick up your team, picks up the fans, and obviously that keeps you in the game. Now as well, one-on-one. What's the goaltender thinking? The responsibility is largely on that goaltender now. It's not much of a team game. In fact, Houston Aeros goaltender Rob Dobson explains to us the power of the goaltender.
Well, it's something that there's a lot of pressure put on the goaltender. You know, you've played 60 minutes, hard-fought battle. It comes out, you know, sometimes even 0-0. And all of a sudden now, with the elimination of the 5-minute overtime, you're put into a situation where it's you and 5 of their players, and it's the difference between a win and a loss. And unfortunately, last season in the IHL, I was involved in about 14 of them, and I lost 8 by like 1 goal. So it's something that's become part of the IHL. It's very exciting for the fans. The elimination of the 5-minute overtime has caused a few discussions amongst the players, but again, it's exciting for the fans, and it's become so much a part of our league that, in essence, you still have to practice it, and it has become a part of practice.
And the bottom line really for this type of situation is, if in the regular season, very entertaining, people can get excited about it. It's an 84-game regular season, but in the playoffs or for a world championship, you eliminate that shootout altogether. But for now, the IHL making strides in just yet another area. That's it for Panger Off the Post for this week. Let's now go upstairs. Tommy, have you ever put one off the post, buddy?
No, but I wish they'd have had a shootout when you played, Darren. I'd have given anything to see how you carried your team to victory by stoning shooter after shooter.
And we're in a stationary type breakout. D, all you got to do is come out like this. You can either use your partner, or you can fire it here, up the middle, or right off the boards. Worst case scenario, it gets out of our end, which is not a bad scene. Best case scenario is maybe a trap and we got a 3-on-2 going, or a 2-on-1 if the defense stands up. We get shots from the points, guys. You know, we're making a good play to get it. We get it back to here. We got one guy here, one guy here, one guy here. Shot goes, comes out here. Guess what happens? 3-on-2 the other way. Get the third guy out here. Just back up. More likely the rebounds will come right in that area for you. If it doesn't, you're in position to back check. Guys, it's one thing to get beat when the other team outplays you or has got more talent than you. But it's another thing when you let them beat you. Make them earn their goals. Make them earn their good plays. We're better than them, no doubt. Just play it. Keep it simple, play hard, make good changes, and let's take this period away from them. Let's get our game going again.
Well, if you've ever wondered what goes on in an NHL or an IHL or just a hockey locker room between periods, Darren, we took you live inside.
You know, I haven't been down in there for a little bit, but that was great. It was great of Butch. He really explained what was going on. He talked about face-off. Tied at 1, it's Chitteroni. Busting down, takes advantage of Rochefort falling at the blue line. Another blast, similar. Low to the glove side, along the ice. Hey, kids, it doesn't have to go high every single time you shoot the puck. That is just quite simply a pretty darn good shot. So Chitteroni tied the game up at 1-1.
Shots on goal the first period, 14.
Lady that she's okay, she's fine, but she took a hard puck and it just came over the glass area, and that's one of the things about going to a hockey game. or any sport for that matter, but mostly hockey, because the puck does carry them in off the glass certain times, so you got to keep your eye on the puck. She's getting attention right now, going to get taken care of. In fairness to the players, the ice here we made mention. Now, of course, they're new to putting the ice down here again. It has been a minor problem. They're hoping to get that ice going a little bit better. By meaning bad ice, it means it gets choppy real early. Probably there's too much on the surface or not the right temperature, but that means the puck's not going to stay.
Not quite as frenetic as the start of the game.
2-on-1.
As I say that, a 2-on-1. McWilliam lines it up, and out of his net is Gamble. Cuts down the angle, and a nice save. Troy Gamble keeps this a 1-1 game and tempers Flair after the save. With 16:37 to go in the second period. Watching from the hot tub here in the Florida Nichols Arena. Hot shot here by McWilliam.
No bubbles on this one. A high, hard one, trying to go high to the glove side on the short side. And you see the position of where Gamble is on a 2-on-1. Now, a goaltender's job is to take the shooter. So the defenseman fades away and makes sure he has the pass. And a great save by Gamble as we take a look at the ice that's not frozen.
Yeah. Meanwhile, still on the puck. Now they both go down. No penalty called. Shot taken. Score!
Oh.
What a bullet by Rob Robinson. Beating the goaltender Salo cleanly on a 4-on-4 situation. 2-1 Houston.
Credit a lot of that work to the veteran Tippett. Boy, he was on that board for probably 30 to 40 seconds working it, keeping control, making sure that the play was kept alive, and in fact he was taken down. And oh boy, not a very good goal. The positioning, that's the key right there, is the positioning of where Salo is in his net, inside the blue paint, inside his crease.
Here's Daryl Olson skating it in. Olson gets it over to Brian McKee. Back to Olson. Fake the shot, and out of his net comes Salo. As on the doorstep was Scott Arniel. Terry Ruskowski urging his troops on from the Houston bench.
Olson with a nice fake shot right to Tippett. Now Tippett never got full wood on that. That was sort of a healer. And it enabled Salo to make the save.
Still 4-on-3 for the next 5 seconds. Then it'll be a 5-on-4 Houston power play. It's now 5-on-4. You hear Ruskowski saying, walk it in, take the shot. Salo gets a glove on the shot, which was taken by Brian McKee. McKee keeps it in. Scott Arniel. Arrows still have 1:15 to go in the rest of their power play. This is McKee. Lofting one in. Deneen blocks it initially. Comes loose again.
The power play to the far side. The shot by McKee. Good save by Salo. Getting the left pad on it. Again, he's deep in his net, but he has to be because of the power play and men out in front of him. Arniel with this shot here, which was blocked. Al Rochefort did. Poor guy, all he did was block his shot and took one in the middle section, and then he got trampled on by Arniel and a couple of the guys.
Face off. And here comes Denver. 5-on-5. Nicholas Anderson onside, but off the skate of McKee. Loose puck in the slot. Crossman a shot and a save by Troy Gamble.
What a save by Gamble. Clearly just robbed the veteran Crossman. Crossman trying to go high to the glove side, all alone in between the rings. Wonder if Cross has anything to say about that one.
Apparently not.
Let's take a look at why Crossman might be a little bit frustrated. The Karam off the skate. Now here's Crossman moving in. Now this is a good position. One-timer, high to the glove side. Strong save, though. Crossman's trying to say that puck was spinning a little bit much. He couldn't get a lot on it. Was in the cup, in the glove area. So Oleg's going to go off and spend some time in the grunge box. And it will be Denver's 4th power play.
The grunge box.
It's back.
It lives.
It does. It will never be gone.
We'll see about that. Puck is
advantage of it. Now Miller, I thought, had a chance to maybe shoot the puck. He instead decided to move it on over, move it to the perimeter, and allowed Crossman to walk in. Now this is a longer shot, though. It might have gone off a little bit of a stick. It looked like it got raised a little bit, but there's no one in front. No, it looked like it might have gone off the blade of the stick of Gamble. Nonetheless, again to the glove side, in the middle part of the net or low, and Crossman has his first of the season. That's as excited as Doug Crossman gets.
It was bumped a little bit in his crease, and Troy Gamble didn't like it.
Well, now you see Medill and Gamble.
Oh.
Well, Gamble stepped out a little bit, wanted to give Medill a shot, wanted to let him know he wasn't happy about the stuff going outside of his crease. Gamble, in all likelihood, just wasn't too pleased about that Doug Crossman goal. A lot of scrums happen right after a whistle in the crease. Little jam play inside of the net.
Let's see if we can find out what started all this.
Marinucci causing the puck to go around. Now Medill trying to jam it. A little jam play, then takes a hit. Now the puck's loose. Puck's still loose. And you see Marinucci come in with his stick, and actually, Gamble got the wrong guy. He came out afterwards, unless Medill had said something to him, but that was actually Marinucci's stick that was inside trying to gather up the loose puck. You see, Marinucci's got a glove around his face. Now he's going to get a waffle in the beak. And then Medill's probably going to come in and say a couple of words. So, hey, goalie hears that. We got a great mask on your face. Goalies aren't going to get hurt, Tommy, you know, huh? Mask on the face, the sticks are a little high. They're well protected.
Well, they are the smartest players on the ice. We all know that. Troy Gamble played last year in Kalamazoo of the Eye after signing with the Dallas Stars. It was a 1985 draftee of the Vancouver Canucks was Gamble in the second round. And penalties being assessed to
Rochefort takes advantage of a good feed by Palffy. And Rochefort looked like he was just trying to fire that over to the side, but instead it caroms in off the defenseman's shin pad, past the goaltender Troy Gamble. And Rochefort will get a credit for his first goal of the season. That goal coming at 9:05, and that was meant to be a pass, Tom. Instead it went off the... Good scoring chance by the Houston Aeros. Pellerin has the chance on the right wing. Instead of passing the puck, he buries his head and tries to fire it low to the stick side. But it's Tommy Salo that gets his right leg on it and then smothers the rebound. That was Davey Tippett, number 14, that was busting on the left side, doing what the second man should do on a 2-on-1. You see the New York Islander logo on his molded mask. Tommy, of course, was a 5th-round draft pick last year after a brilliant Olympic campaign, a gold medal, had the penalty shot thing going his way, stopped Paul Kariya. That was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Sure was. Varying degrees of puck loose in the Denver zone. Rob Robinson, or I should say Derek Armstrong, goes back for it. To Zygmunt Palffy. Palffy hits maybe off the outside of the post.
Looked like it went off the blocker and then the side of the post. You're right, Tom. Good hard shot by Palffy. Usually he's been faking that shot and going wide. That time he elected to shoot it.
Here comes Zygmunt Palffy again. He's got some jets, doesn't he? Palffy lets her fly, and Gamble got a piece of it and looked like a boxer about ready to go down.
Oh, that was crippling. That hurt.
Where'd it hit him?
Left shoulder.
Oh. Here's Tippett the other way for Houston. Tippett a drive to the short side. It's wide. 10. Well, welcome back to McNichols Arena in Denver. I'm Tom Mees along with Darren Pang. We're taking a look at Zygmunt Palffy coming in. The blast. Ouch, the left shoulder. And there's not much padding up there, if any, on Troy Gamble, is there?
Right on the middle of it. It's okay, but that one's stuck.
On his way to the Houston zone. Rochefort the shot. The save by Gamble. Loose puck in front. As again, we have a 4-on-4 situation. Nicholas Anderson loose in front. And the shot is a save by Gamble. Anderson in the corner. Another penalty being called here. And then after that weak backhand, how that play was set up. Miller, Crossman a quick pass to Zygmunt Palffy. And the faceoff will come into Denver, rather in the Houston zone, to the left of that man, Troy Gamble. Not necessarily the hard shot that counts, it's the positioning and the way the puck is passed, trying to get people sliding on defense. Here, Crossman saying that we got to open up a little bit on this power play.
Inside the crease.
Again, Crossman controlling his power play for the most part, down low, trying to get it to Palffy out front, but it didn't make it. You got Luongo and Tiki at the points now.
As a defenseman, the goaltender, stop it right here if you can. The defenseman is going to try to take the pass away. The goaltender, you see the position right there. The goaltender is going to take the shooter. So the bottom line here is the defenseman and the goalie don't want this soft, nifty little pass that goes across the slot and onto the tape. And in this example, it's Dave Tippett, so he has an open net. So So here we have the situation. It's drawn out. Let's let it roll. The shot is taken by Pellerin. Your goaltender stands up and challenges the shooter, and the play is solid. Goaltender and defenseman both make that play. They make it happen, and so there's the communication factor as well. We've had Doug Crossman through the course of this game talking to his defensive partners, talking to his goaltenders, and communicating with one another. If, for example, the defenseman wanted to slide over there early, that pass would come across, and you can guarantee, unless the goaltender made a brilliant save, that the red light would go on. So that's it for this week, Panger's Mailbox, and I hope that helps you out. If you've got any kind of questions or letters, here's where you're going to write to. Darren Pang, ESPN Plaza, 935 Middle Street, Bristol, Connecticut, 06010. We thank Rusty Stone for that brilliant letter for this week to get us started on Pang's Mailbacks. As I said, we'll get that going this year also on Prodigy. We'll be online, so we'll get that going. We'll have real mail, we'll have junk mail, we'll have it all right here on The Deuce.
All right, Darren, let's quickly take a visit inside the Houston Aeros locker room where head coach Terry Ruskowski the problem, so you'll be able to speak as Kip Miller shoots just fine to the stick side.
Wow, what a chance for Miller. He had that wide open side of the net, unable to capitalize.
Pang is in mid-season shape as he's able to sprint up here from down below. And
it's a high altitude. I don't know how these players are doing it, Tom.
That's something we haven't got into tonight as Arneal centered beautifully for Jerry St. Cyr, and a nice save by Salo.
Great save by Salo.
Here's Nicholas Anderson behind the net. Kip Miller. And a breaking Zygmunt Palffy. One-on-one. Gets around his man, shoots, and he's high over the net.
Great pass by Arneal. Right on the tape. And look at this two-pad slide by, Tommy Salo. Just a terrific save. That's a real hard maneuver to make, getting your body there and stacking the pads as we listen on to Terry Ruskowski. It's okay. Even cut down the angle, challenging the shooter. Perfect position. You see Medill, he had the hands up, he had the stick up, he was cocked and ready to go. But Gamble made a good save, and now what happens, the play goes down the other end, and Houston gets a power play chance now. So a shot went off one of the Grizzlies, and it came out, and Mark Freer, sort of Johnny on the spot, just hanging around right there. Ties the game up at 3 as they capitalize on their power play, their first one of the game. The initial shot stopped, and now it looked like Salo thought it was covered. He's sort of sprawling on his side, puck's loose, Freer's right there, bang, he's got himself a tally. First goal, Chitteroni with the initial shot. He just whiffed on that one. That was on end, and he whiffed on her. But Freer was right there to bang her home.
Well, Mark Freer spent last year in the American Hockey League in the Toronto. Palffy at center. Miller and Palffy. Palffy with a beautiful move. Gamble has it go underneath him, but directs it just wide. And a whistle stopping play. We're going
far. They were 1 for 4 last night. Palffy again using his speed, and clearly that's a penalty. That's being hauled down only because Palffy was using his speed, going wide, driving wide. And clearly a good scoring chance. And Gamble really he just had to get barely a piece of that. But Olsen's going to go off for holding.
He's got one goal tonight. He shoots, and the save made by Salo. Rochefort loses possession at center. Here comes Chitteroni. He's got one goal tonight. He shoots, and the save made by Salo.
And even some of the Grizzlies right now, even some of these guys are having a tougher time. But here's the situation. A short-handed play, and Chitteroni tried to take it from the forehand to the backhand and stuff an attempt that Salo got his pad on. It was a 2-on-1, though. He might have had a chance to pass that puck across. Salo stayed with him and made a good save. And again, that causes a little bit of a fumbling. Rochefort again in the neutral zone, and that caused that 2-on-1 break. You remember Chitteroni. Now he moves it over to the big guy, Shargodovsky, and he lets a little snapper go, and it doesn't get through. That's blocked in front. You see Graham Townsend in there. As soon as this power play started, Townsend went right to the front of the net. He's a big guy. He's 6'3", trying to cause a screen like that. He didn't have a chance, but again, you see the Pellerin in front of the net, the screen there, trying to get in front of Salo. Yeah, that looked like that went off the defenseman's stick. He was falling to his left. He just got some wood on it. That was a great save by Gamble. Gamble had to lean back to his right and get the paddle of his stick down. That's just a huge save at that point. Good penetration, good puck movement by the Grizzlies. Shot by Luongo. Deflected, just went off the skate, and here's the chance right there. And with Gamble right on the goal line, he was just able to keep it out. If Medill gets it up just a little bit, good chance of it going over top, but it's a good save.
Again, it's Eves and Marinucci on the face-off, and Murray Eves, the veteran, wins the draw for
One of the things we talked to Chris Marinucci about in between periods is the blade of his stick. It's a very straight blade. Marinucci doesn't like the big curve, and what happens there is, as his wraparound came around the net, he's on his backhand. So there's no big looping curve. He makes a perfect pass. Palffy has a good chance on the backhand as well, but again, Troy Gamble comes up with a real big save.
To look at Darren Pang with a little bit of hair anyway. Milwaukee, Saginaw, and this is the Indianapolis Ice, and look at the goals against at that time in this league. That was super.
Well, interesting. He went in trying to go high to the glove, and it looked like the left arm of Gamble looked like he might have got a piece of that. I know it's from far out, hard to tell, but from behind the net, probably have a good angle. Go high, not much time. Yeah, that went off his glove. Preserves a 3-3 tie in the shootout.
We played 60 minutes of hockey. We have the shootout still to come. Don't go away. Tom Mees with Darren Pang. We're at McNichols Arena in Denver. There's our score. And the Arrows. The Arrows and the Grizzlies are headed for a shootout.
Oh, you love a coach that gives his goalie a little pat on the back. He was just telling Troy Gamble, you finished it off. He says you were strong in the end. Now let's finish it off.
This is the first time the fans in Denver have seen this. Third shootout for Gamble in what, 10 games?
Third of the season in 10 games for the IHL.
Oh, okay.
Third in 10 games
there
for
were
the
two
International
shootouts
Hockey
last
League.
night.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Chicago Wolves lost 6-5 to Detroit. I know the former Chicago Blackhawk Al Secord had a chance and did not score.
Clayton Young will open the shootout. The visiting team shoots first. Clayton Young, that's the Houston Aeros' choice to go first. Each team gets 5 shots. Here goes Young in on Tommy Salo. And the save by Salo.
Good save by Salo, shutting down the 5-hole. Clayton Young gave it to him the whole way. Didn't disguise any move, and Salo was able to close down those big white pads.
For the Denver Grizzlies, it'll be Kip Miller. Now, this is just like a penalty shot. You get 1 shot, no rebounds. Here comes Miller in on Gamble. He scores! 1-0 Denver.
Terrific move by Miller. That's the disguising I meant. He had the puck in front of him, but he gave a little shift with his shoulder, went to the forehand, and finished her off.
With that spotlight in on the home team skater, does that distract you? I don't know. Here comes Scott, here comes, and the save on the shot by Jerry St. Cyr. Jerry St. Cyr is stopped by Salo again.
We saw that same save by Salo against Team Canada for the gold medal at the Olympics. Stacking 2 pads. Great save by Salo.
Coming up for Denver, Derek Armstrong. And he goes backhand, and the Grizzlies lead the shootout 2-0.
Tom, I don't like that spotlight on that guy. You're right, I just noticed that, but a nice little move again, going towards the backhand. Terrific move, and then finishing up top.
For Houston, number 22, the save is made by Mark Freer. Freer is rather stopped, I should say, by the goaltender, Tommy Salo. So the Houston Aeros are in jeopardy as Taylor can salt it away right here for the Grizzlies.
Oh, good poke check. Great poke check by Troy Gamble. Taylor trying to go to his backhand, but Gamble read it and gave him the stick. The only way Houston's got to score right here.
Yes, they do. Mario Chitteroni has to score, or the shootout will be over. And the save by Salo.
And that's it.
That's it. That clinches the shootout. There was only 1 round left, and Denver had the only 2 goals. So the Denver Grizzlies, 2 games played in their history, 2 games won, and for Terry Ruskowski, almost, but not quite.
Tommy Salo again, driving on that experience, the confidence to do it. He made some great saves, not only in the game, but also in this shootout.
A reminder, as Denver wins in a shootout 4-3, coming up next on the Deuce, it's Rodeo Rough Riders. From hockey to rodeo, you gotta love that, right, on a Sunday night? Rodeo Rough Riders coming up next.
Leave. Like all teams, the Kings decided to make tracks.
We aren't going to skate
as a team or individually. We've decided that amongst 700 players on Saturday, and that's a decision we're going to follow for the next 2 weeks.
It's tough to have the guys to stand around, look at each other, and wonder when, and get antsy and get to a position where you make a irrational decision as to what we're willing to settle for.
Delaying the openers until October 15th should still allow teams to play a full 84-game schedule. After that, games could be lost. At present, the problem is communication, or lack thereof.
I think that we owe it to those fans that if we're not going to get a deal done by October 15th, we come out of there with knowing that we gave it a total effort. We come out of there tired, exhausted, unshaven, up all night, pounding it for 24 hours like we should be.
In a parting shot, one player warned the owners not to test the union's resolve.
I think that because I was involved in the strike a couple of years back, that I can definitely tell you that we have more solidarity now than we had at that time.
The two sides can't even agree on semantics. Owners call this a postponement. The players, a lockout. The fans just want hockey. Because phony games staged for Hollywood aren't worth a Van Dam.
Talk about your enforcers. Meanwhile, the Players Association took out an advertisement in 29 major newspapers across North America in the form of a letter to their fans. It stated the many gains made by the league over the past year and expressed bewilderment over the league's decision to lock out the players. Tomorrow night, we'll have a full report on the resumption.
With no numbers on them. Gary,
you were afraid. You should have seen how I was looking when we found that out. Cleared into the zone. Binghamton trying to get it back up. Comes to the near side boards. You'll see the line stay.
But he made a very bad decision at the other blue line. That is a terrific pass. Dan Kessa is really the only veteran player that Coach Jack McElhargy has in the lineup. Mentioned in the open that this team has 11 rookies. They've got 4 second-year players, 3 guys that have only had 2 years of experience. But there was a pinch at the blue line and was terrific for Binghamton.
Bolton shot and the save made again, knocked away by Ram into the corner.
They're playing tonight, but giveaways cost you. And Syracuse, the crunch, has been absolutely all over the Rangers. And I'm sure Ram is saying, where is all this veteran support I'm supposed to be getting? Because not only was there a quick shot you saw from the hash marks, but Dan Kessa was wide open in front.
Nothing a goaltender is going to do about that monster.
Yeah, fair enough. Watch it. Here goes Jackson for Syracuse behind the net. True roadkill.
327 penalty minutes for Langdon last year here in the American Hockey League.
Well, Jamie Ram will learn very quickly.
One lead on the parent.
Well, Jack McElhargy saw a lead vanish in the third period last night. The Syracuse Crunch still has a 2-goal lead, but they can't give it up very easily. Terrific play by Stewart. Now, he's a big kid. He's 6'2", 205. But for a defenseman, he's got great agility. He is one of the players that just arrived here today from the New York Breakdown. Terrific mobility. I'll tell you what, he played here last year. He's only 22. He's shown me a lot.
Here's Nielsen. 1-goal game. No, he missed it wide. Great chance by Nielsen. A goal! It deflected in on a centering pass, and it is a 1-goal game. Nielsen out in front may have been the last to touch it.
Well, remember what we said about the Syracuse Crunch. Exciting, but possibly erratic. That one deflected off a Crunch player right in front, I believe. The defenseman that was standing out in front of Mignacca, and it bounced in behind. Now, this does not look like the team that played solid D in the first period.
Suddenly falling apart. Save made. 1-goal differential. Score! They've tied it up! Nielsen gets the goal!
Well, Sonny Mignacca, buckle your seatbelts because you're not going to get much support now. Look at this shot. with the Rangers guys, 2 of them there for the rebound, and Jeff Nielsen, fresh out of the University of Minnesota, has scored his first goal as a pro. A terrific play with the skates by Nielsen just to keep that one alive. It came off of McStitches, and Scott Walker said, that's my new record, 28. And he can really throw him. 5'9", but he is an absolute dynamo when he drops the gloves.
272 minutes in penalties playing for this team last year out of Hamilton. 272 minutes.
Well, the coaching staff, Jack McElroy.
You were so clean. Gosh, you look so good.
It was all a front.
But you didn't have to get beat up with the guys you were playing with.
I was 12 then.
Bill Clement, yes.
The first woman to ever play in a man's professional sport. Manon Rhéaume is well known around the roller hockey circles as well. She is a netminder with the New Jersey Rock and Rollers.
I can play with all. My 2 brothers was playing hockey and my father was a coach. During the winter, my father always make a rink in the backyard, and I used to go ice skate during the winter. I used to make alpine ski when I was younger. My ski coach said, don't go play hockey. You don't have the chance to go higher. In ski, you can go in the Olympics, but I always like more hockey, so I decided to pursue the hockey. Every place I go, you know, the guys are nice and they like my brothers.
I don't look at her as a girl. I mean, I look at her as a good athlete. She's a good goaltender.
The goaltender is a game of reflex and concentration. Every time, you know, a good goaltender has a bad game, it's because he was not concentrating.
When I came here, I knew she could play, and she would be a great backup goaltender to have. In close, she's really, really tough to beat. You know, she has good reflexes. Her arms, she comes up with them really, really quick.
To win a game, you need to stop the puck, and I'm just like any other goaltender, because the players don't care who's in the net. They just want the goaltender to stop the puck. This is kid equipment, my shoulder pads and my pins, because the pro stuff is too big for me.
When I coached her in Nashville, she was, you know, she was kind of green. I worked with her for 2 weeks. You know, she improved, and then I put her in a game, and she played really well. She beat the first place club. She beat the best goaltender in the league, and it was a breakthrough for her.
I'm realistic about the NHL. Before to play NHL, you need to play a lot high NHL or American League, and I'm not there. I just want to go the farther than I can, and I just want to improve myself and see how far I can go. I skate rollerblading since a couple of years. When you used to play hockey and you put rollerblade, it takes you a couple of weeks to be able to move, and after that, you know, you feel like on the ice. It's a good challenge because it gives me a chance to get better and get better reflex, and everything I'm going to do during the summer is going to help my game during the winter.
She has confidence. She knows she can come out here and compete, and this league right now is really going to help her for next year.
I don't want to perform to prove to the people that I can play. I want to do that because I love the sport. And when I'm out there, I play for the team and for me.
Just 2 minutes into the third quarter, the goal scoring continued. Buffalo's Rick Corriveau lit the lamp on a shot from the right side. Only 1 minute, 27 seconds later, Chris Bergeron padded the lead with his power play goal, his second of the game. That was enough to prompt New Jersey player coach Nick Batiou to call Manon Rhéaume to action in goal. And the fans at the Meadowlands rose to their feet to see the female goaltender in her first game of the season.
5:50 to go. They can't clear it though. Neal with quick pass to Beccarelli. Now Bergeron in front. He's making a good chance. He shoots. And he scores. Oh, that was a good shot. Upper corner. And Buffalo now leads 7-2.
Talk about the traffic in front. Manon Rhéaume is down right there. The reason she's down, she got run over by her own player on this one. It's a power play goal. But one of the Rock and Rollers was skating through the crease and really leveled Manon Rhéaume down. And that time Bergeron, he picked a spot. He held on. Watch the play. Watch Rhéaume. Boom. She goes down, takes the elbow. Top corner. Wow.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought...
Cerrone and Mirablé avoiding the puck for a moment. Now Cerrone in front. the point, shot, and score. It got through Maynard Rhéaume. Dave LeMay. And Buffalo has that 3-goal lead again.
Good move in right there. A lot of traffic in front. The crisscross is going. And finding a man coming in from behind the traffic was LeMay. And he looked at it all the way. Pass coming out from the corner. There's the traffic. You saw the crisscross in front. The big screen, Nick Fotiu, 22. Take a look from way on top of the players. Look at 22 Fotiu. He tries to play goalie right there. Goaltenders hate that.
Positive story, a man who's got a chance. This is the goaltender we'll see tonight, Scott LeGrand, 23 years old, out of Boston College. Probably fair to say he's number 3 on Philadelphia's goaltending list right now, so the future is still in front of him. The other side of that coin tonight, some guys, every single one of them earned their stripes in the American Hockey League, including Mr. Hull. Welcome back to the Centrum, everybody. Gary Thorne, Bill Clark. There you go, the goaltender. That's him talking right there. We're also going to hear from referee Lyle Seitz.
Just maybe let the coach know that. Let him know that. Oh, he knows that? Okay.
Right on cue. Perfect. And we didn't even have to point. So all night long, the goaltender will be talking, and maybe he'll be talking with the referee. We'll have a great conversation that'll go on there. Worcester Ice Cats 0-1-1. Their first season in the American Hockey League. The Hershey Bears, the oldest franchise, their 57th year in the American Hockey League, and some of these names you will hear. Hershey wearing the chocolate color, as they call it. That's what they've got on. Scott LeGrand, Lester Kuntar are our goaltenders for tonight's game. McHugh batted it out of the zone, chased down on the far side. Kane will take it in behind the net. Sean Kane, one of the defensemen, 14 for the Ice Cats. The Ice Cats really still a team trying to put itself together. They're still trying to find some players who are going to be with this team throughout the year. A lot of decisions as far as who's going to actually be on this team as it goes along remains to be seen. Quarterk out there along the point, backs up now. It'll be held in wide of the goaltender. I don't think I had a chance on that one. Kane goes back to get it. And the goaltender near that for tonight. Remember, this team's just starting to get itself together. Eglund on the near side, trying to work it up and out of the zone. Great solid checks put on along the boards. Unable to move it out. Good checking early on in this game. Dumped in front of the net. LeGrand makes the save. Bounced up in the air. LeGrand on Dennis Chalipo, who had the opportunity standing out in front of the net. Good work by Worcester here as they keep the offensive pressure on in the zone. Remember, only 16 players dressed to skate here, along with 2 goaltenders. So you get really 3 lines and an extra delay call. Shelford's shot, save made by LeGrand, and he'll cover it up. Lyle Seitz making college. This is his 3rd year with the Hershey Bears, and if Ron Hextall or Dominic Roussel have a problem, LeGrand would be the guy. Les Kuntar, last year with the Montreal Canadiens organization, got into a half-dozen games with them. The Worcester Ice Cats bought out his contract, so he is now owned 100% by the Worcester team. And if he has a great year, that is a huge advantage for Les Kuntar. Somebody will look at him and say, you know what, we need to sign him. So he is free right now, Les Kuntar is, to sign with any NHL team. Dudley fixes a reaction goalie, will stand back and try to rely on his reaction time in the net. Scott LeGrand looked like he was pretty set up on this one. Now, if you ask Scott LeGrand, he'd tell you there's no way that could go in. I had that angle perfectly played, had to hit the post. And you got to say, I mean, that's literally what they work to do. So when they say that, they're sometimes being serious. Shots are even now at 8-8. Hershey's got the 2-0 lead. Have to clear the zone here. Intended for Dupre, intercepted by Hafey. Hafey drops it back into the middle. Drop pass deflected out through center. Good hard checking, good coverage by the defense. Cross ball near side, good save made. Kuntar will hang on to that one. Vaclav Prospal the opportunity, and now the gloves fall. Gerard is causing the havoc. He is really playing tough in front of the net, and Worcester players trying to move him out of there, getting a little frustrated. It is so...
Now from behind the net, you see O'Neill moving. Now he's got to shuffle across. That's a shuffle situation. To get across as quickly as possible, but still keep your pad square to the shooter so you're not cheating or leaning. What he does there is called, man, just hug that puck, just get a whistle. For some reason, Mike O'Neill really wanted to cover up. It's not a bad play by a visiting goaltender, and most coaches will tell you that. Take those whistles, slow down the play, get the crowd out of the game, and that way we can play our own style. We don't have to be fancy while we're on the road here in Detroit. see Cavaglia breaking in off the off wing. A left-handed shot, takes it to the backhand, then the forehand. What a terrific save by a sprawling Mike O'Neill. And that's the reason for the first power play of this game.
That was Harvard against Yale.
Job of jumping in. Every time the puck's loose, the penalty killers are just simply jumping in, pressuring them, making them move, making them make the bad plays, fumbling around with the puck. That's just good defensive hockey by the Fort Wayne Komets.
Face off. Shooting. Pang again! What a glove save! Pang with the glove!
Welcome into another edition of Pang Off the Post, and in this week's edition, what we're going to talk about right now is the development of goaltenders that have graduated from the International Hockey League, what we're seeing here tonight, to the National Hockey League. There are many reasons and many goaltenders that have gone on to great heights in the NHL. We'll even go back to one of the furthest guys, Glenn Chico Resch. Played for Muskegon of the International Hockey League before so many great years with the New York Islanders. And we have so many great goaltenders in our era right now that have spent some time in the International Hockey League. And in fact, Eddie Belfour, one of the best in the game today, spent some time with the Saginaw Hawks in his rookie year. He was the co-winner of the Rookie of the Year that year with John Cullen, and what he did was got his game together in the minor leagues. We know right now he's been one of the leading goaltenders the last 4 years. His goals against average is always amongst the leaders. Artur Zerbe, well, he led his team, Kansas City, to a Turner Cup championship just a couple of years ago. We saw him in the playoffs. Dominik Hasek, well, for the first time in 17 years, he had a goals against average in the NHL of under 2, and he has been outstanding, obviously, in the National Hockey League, but he spent some time with Indianapolis. Now, there are many reasons why a guy has to make a transformation. Now, goaltenders have a notoriously tough time of jumping right from their junior leagues to the National Hockey League. One of the reasons why they graduate, lots of shots. Rubber, rubber, and more rubber, probably an average of 35 per night. And they play every night as well. These are the guys that are the main horses of the National Hockey League clubs. They get a chance to get their pads on and see the action. Number 3, well, my reason is the caliber of play. Hey, the IHL, the American Hockey League, these are terrific leagues. There's a lot of snipers that have played in the National Hockey League, so these guys are going to get plenty of shooters. And of course, and again and again and again, is lots and lots and lots of shots. In fact, most goalies would lose their hair because of all the shots. I don't know which ones exactly, but those are some of the reasons why guys can graduate from the IHL into the National Hockey League, and we're seeing a couple of pretty good ones right now in tonight's game. Mike O'Neill for Fort Wayne and David Goverty, formerly of the Los Angeles organization, in goal with the Detroit Vipers. Now to another man upstairs. He hasn't lost it just yet. Didn't play goal in the IHL. Let's go back upstairs to Gary Thorne. Gary's to jump up into the play. You see this pass is right on the tape. See, the key to this is DeGray doesn't have to stop at all. He doesn't have to stutter step it. He can go right towards the net. Now, that pass was right on his tape, and then he fired it low to the glove side on O'Neill. Now, from this angle, you see the pass by Conroy. Bang. Right-hand shot to a right-hand shot. Just perfect. No big wind-up there on Gary. Just a low snap shot, and I think O'Neill was caught by surprise, but the key to the Vipers and for Fort Wayne was that was the first quality shot on goal, and DeGray is able to capitalize on that opportunity.
And the goaltender just didn't play it. I think that was tipped on the way in by Craighead, number 14, because you see O'Neill going from right to left, had the puck come back on him the other way. We'll wait and see what the official call is on it, but that's the man, I think, who got a stick on it, Craighead. This is why they give assists.
Mazur deserves a lot of credit. Here's the play, though, by Joe Day. I mean, he made that nifty little breakout pass in his own zone, and look at Al Conroy. Let's weave a little bit. Let's wait and see what's happening. Defenseman's going to commit. That spear going down, and Conroy, look at that. On his knees, on his tummy, puts it right over to the wide-open Mazur, and there's not a chance he's going to miss that one, but here's the play. Hey, that takes a lot of ability. Because Conroy was falling down, he still had to get control.
Third of the year, Conroy and Day. Save made by Goverty. And back come the Vipers. Goals in this game, DeGray in the...
There is the shots in this period have been dominated by the Vipers, and there's one of them right now. O'Neill has to make a good save. He's got Boyce down there as well. Doyle's trying to help out, and there's a lot of comments there. Again, the setup, 3-on-2 situation. Perfect little pass, and that's Hines moving in somehow. Not one of those 5 Fort Wayne comments saw him. Scoring chances in this period, Detroit. Busted in on the right side, going from his backhand to his forehand. Watch the post. Oh, dead off the post, clearly not in the net. and then it lies right under Goberty. He has no idea where it is, but you know, once your defensemen are rushing towards you and they're sticking their sticks in your back, they're trying to tell you something. Get it down. This is a great angle of how that puck just snuck underneath the pillows and then came dead right back to him. And for